Bengali films, or even using stories from here to take there and make.
See, emotion is universal. The way I cry, a person in Sweden, he also cries like that. Or somebody in Bankura, a village in West Bengal, he also cries like that. We have to identify stories. That's the most important thing. Now the synergy between a government, a filmmaker, a studio, and technology. Where there is friendship between all these guys, it can be fulfilled, whatever you are dreaming. Unfortunately, I come from a place where money was a problem, when we used to, I had to do more than 500 advertising films sitting in Calcutta for Bangladesh and Eastern region and make some money, bought my camera and made my first film, Onur Onun, which I shot in England. And the way we grew up, it was a very cosmopolitan environment. There was a person from Chennai, then Madras. There was a person from Maharashtra. There was a person from England. There's a person from Jalpaiguri. So we used to get stories from the atmosphere, which was flying here and there. Now, the problem, when you make a film, you dream, but it dies before it starts taking shape, because where is the money? So when there is a corporation or when there is a state who can give us incentives, give us technology, because now a lot of things you can do. You can create a set and you can do a lot of things digitally. You identify a story or make a cross-culture film. Like you make a film like Frantic, a man and a woman who has come from Burdwan for honeymoon in Charminar, and the woman gets lost. And then what? So we can dream about that when there is a support by the state. We come here, we shoot a very rooted story, a story which has double root, story has a root from Kolkata or from Bengal. I live in Bombay also. I've started making small Hindi films. A Maharashtrian man. Who will help. There are a lot of opportunities now how we deal that. And another opportunity we require, we are filmmakers. We don't believe in ROI. We don't know ROI, Art has to be patronized, When Birbal used to sing, Akbar didn't think of ROI. How much money Birbal used to, play jokes, or Tansen used to sing. Akbar used to patronize that, or when Michelangelo used to paint, the church took care of these things. Our problem is we have to think of ROI, we have to get money, we have to execute a film, which becomes very heavy, or it's tough. So if there is a body who will take care of, every film has a market. Buddhadev Dasgupta, one of the most renowned filmmaker of our country, told Anirudh, everything has a market. You make a film of X budget, there is somebody. Y budget, there is somebody. But you have to know the market. But that's not my job, because I'm not good at that. Everybody is not good at everything. I can't play cricket well, but I play table tennis well. So if this kind of collaboration happens with the stalwarts, like everybody, all of you here, then sky is the limit. Lot of things can happen. Lot of things can happen. I will give example of Zoya's film. I'll tell you why. Zindagi Na Mile Dobara. A week back, I was depressed. So my wife told me, she produces most of my film. Let's watch that film. So you went to Spain. We knew about Spain tourism, but you talked about Indian values, of urban Indian values, their crisis, their, their introspection in their life. So we can always do that. That's very important, to go to places, make a film, rediscover, unlearn, learn, and let's do experiment, and that there is a state or there is a body, there is a committee who will take care of you, which is very important from art for artists. Filmmakers are also artists. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have just one simple question to the three producers who are here, taking a cue from you. We are here at a global summit, and we talk about films, and being producing and learning, the costs are just escalating. Everything still think Bahubali and maybe Pushpa Raj, but how can we make them at a lesser cost, and how can government come in to help us lessen that cost?
So this, I think, is such a long answer and such a long conversation. I think we'll have to save it for another time, because I have been told in my end here that we have to unfortunately end the session at this point in time because we've ran over our time. Thank you so much to all the people that are here today. Ritesh, your question, I think Suresh Babu will answer separately once you go backstage. Huh? But I would like to take this opportunity to invite So that was a power pack session on cinema rising in Telangana. I sincerely thank all our panelists for those powerful insights. What truly stands out is how Telangana is building an ecosystem for 2047 where technology meets talent, where culture meets opportunity, and where filmmaking becomes a driver of social and economic transformation. A special thank you for IFA for taking Indian cinema to the world year after year and showcasing the power of our stories on the global stage. And a heartfelt acknowledgement for Wishcraft for putting this together in such short time with such dedication and vision. And of course, Andre Timmins, the director and co-founder of Wishcraft, thank you so much for your leadership, passion and unwavering commitment. Thank you all for being a part of this conversation, and thank you Telangana for showing what a visionary creative economy can look like. I request you to all remain seated. I invite Srimati C.H. Priyanka, IAS Managing Director, Telangana Film Development Corporation, to deliver the concluding remark for this session.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Government of Telangana and Film Development Corporation, we thank all of you for your esteemed presence. And as the closing today, I thank each and everyone for their enriching important points that have given. Today has been an energizing and truly forward-looking experience for all of us here. We, as the Film Development Corporation, give a heartfelt thank for all the esteemed panelists here, Shri Allu Aravind Garu, Shri D. Suresh Babu Garu, Mr. Shyam Prasad Reddy Garu, Rakesh Om Prasad Mehraji, Joya Akhtar ji, Ritesh Deshmukh and Srimati Genelia Deshmukh, Aniruddha Roy Chowdhury ji, Parthiv Goyal ji and Asif Ali ji. Today, we have taken very, very important points from all of you, especially the importance, starting with the importance of writing, how we can emulate the Korean way to see our cinema rising 2047, how the collaboration with multiple industries like Malayalam, Bengali and Marathi can show our way towards the future, and also, as Allu Aravind Garu has said, how sincerity in our work can pave the future. I always thank all of you for being here, and last but not the least to our moderator, Shri Arjun Kapoor ji, for steering this conversation with such charm and clarity. Last but not the least, we also thank our Chairman, Film Development Corporation, Shri Dilraj Garu, for being a steady anchor and support for the government and the industry, for which the bonhomie has been discussed in the panel is very much important. As we wrap up today, I hope Telangana stays with you all, just not in your schedules, but also in your scripts. Thank you all. We look forward to building this creative future together. And one last note, all of you, is that I request all of you to please move to the main hall as the closing ceremony is going to be begun. I request our Honorable Minister, Shri Komatreddy Venkatreddy Garu, to be on the stage.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Priyanka, ma'am. And with this, we bring this powerful conversation on Cinema Rising 2047 to a close. The closing ceremony is not yet done. It's going to happen at the lawns, and that's the unveiling of Vision 2047 happening at the lawns, followed by the drone show. Please do attend. Well, my heartfelt gratitude.
Let it be recorded in their closing ceremonies in the lawns and tell the vision document.
Let me repeat myself, ladies and gentlemen. Unveiling of Vision Document 2047 is happening at the lawns, which is going to be followed by the drone show. We request our delegates to please join us. My heartfelt gratitude to all our panelists.
A global creative hub by 2047. This summit is not just a conference, it is Telangana's invitation to the world to join hands in building future ready state where innovation, investment and inclusive growth thrive. Our Honorable Chief Minister Sri Revanth Reddy has set a clear direction with the Telangana Rising 2047 vision document aiming for 3 trillion economy. Film, culture, tourism and digital media are key pillars of this vision. We recognize the power of cinema goes far beyond entertainment, and it is an engine of economic growth, a preserver of culture and a universal media for storytelling. Our government is more committed for growth of film industry with our culture and language since from so many decades. Earlier, Hyderabad was known for Hindi film releases, and the Revenue Minister of Andhra Pradesh, K.V. Rangareddy, asked the Telugu filmmakers to shift Hyderabad from Madras. Is a place where Sri Saradi Studios established in 1956, built by Yarlagata Shivaram Prasad, and the first film shot in studio was Ma Inti Mahalakshmi in 1956. Sri N.T. Ramarao, Sri Akkineni Nageswarrao, the legends of Indian Telugu cinema, came forward to establish Ramakrishna Studio and Annapurna Studio in 1976 with the initiation of Congress government, Prime Jalagam Venkalrao Garu and then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Thereafter in 1984, Padmalaya Studio by superstar Krishna. 1989, Ramanayadu Studio were established by late the great Ramanayadu Garu. The Bollywood superstar and king of virtuality Ajay Devgan came forward to establish a world-class studio in Hyderabad near future, and which shows the commitment of our government of actively promoting Hyderabad as a national filmmaking capital, supporting studio developments and aiming to attract more productions. Lastly, we will explore the critical The goal of this panel discussion is to listen to the needs of creators, explore local identity as an engine of growth, and then shape up collaborative roadmap between the government, studios, filmmakers. Our panelists today, including legendary Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra, insightful Joa Akhtar and local giants like Allu Aravind, Suresh Babu garu, Shyam Prasad Reddy garu represented the best film of Indian film industry, and we will explore critical areas that will define our future, including Telangana is opening its doors to your ideas, your technology, and your partnership revolutionary. We are ready to make investment necessary to foster world-class creative ecosystem. Let us define the actionable pathways for skills, inclusion, rural development and technology adoption that will make Cinema Rising 2047 a reality. Thank you, and I look forward to a dynamic discussion and especially welcoming my favorite heroine Genelia Deshmukh and Ritesh Deshmukh, who is a very familiar in Telugu films. When I am the first time elected, I am in Lok Sabha, I am in Assembly for 30 years continuously, but I never miss the Genelia picture. Is a national actor, national heroine. Thank you for coming to this Hyderabad. I am very happy. I am roads and building, national highways, civil aviation and cinematography minister. I never expected to receive Genelia. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, one and all. Thank you for coming to this global session. Thank you very much. Andarki namaskaram. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, sir. Can we request everybody to come forward to take a picture? And also, I would like to invite on stage Mr. Andre Timmins, the head of Wishcraft, to join us for this photo op. Thank you so much, sir. Good evening once again. I would request everybody to just settle down. Apne seats pe baith jaiye taki we can start with the evening and the conversation. A humble request for everybody to please settle down. For any filmmaker or actor, some places spark imagination the moment you arrive. And Telangana is one of them. It's a state where creativity is supported, ideas feel possible, and the industry feels truly heard. Today, Telangana isn't just welcoming cinema, it's shaping the future of India's global creative economy. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Chief Minister, Shri A. Revant Reddy Garu, the state is reimagining the entire filmmaking ecosystem and positioning Hyderabad as a genuine global filmmaking hub. What stands out is the clarity of vision. Telangana recognizes that the film industry grows when skills and technology grow. Hyderabad already offers us a world-class production environment, from Ramoji Film City to Prasad Labs, Annapurna, Ramanaidu, Sarathi Studios, and leading VFX and animation companies. And the ambition now is to expand this creative infrastructure across the state, empowering communities and enriching the stories we tell. Cinema is also about identity, and Telangana's cultural richness, its heritage, its music, crafts and cuisine give storytellers an exceptional canvas. Equally important is the state's focus on bringing more women into every department of filmmaking, ensuring a more inclusive future. And above all, filmmaking thrives on ease. Telangana's single window permissions, clear zoning and digital processes reflect a sincere commitment to making production smooth and filmmaker friendly. Today's conversation is about how Telangana can build the talent, technology and cultural ecosystem the industry needs, and how cinema, in return, can amplify the state's identity, economy and global presence. So let's begin on that note. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I start, I have a personal anecdote I would like to share. I've grown up, I think, spending more time in Hyderabad than in Mumbai because my father always shot films here. I think I've stayed in Taj Banjara more often than I stayed at my own house. My father has remade a lot of films. My father has come here and shot, I think, predominantly before anybody else also did from the Hindi film industry. And I feel really proud and happy to be here sitting with Suresh Babu Garu, who I have seen when I was a child. For me, Rana is my friend, and I feel very, very proud that I can be here today for bringing our industries together. Sir, I'll start with you, Suresh Babu Garu. You were telling us backstage, which is something that we all learnt and understood. Only 25 years, this industry, only 25 years, and today we are sitting here. What is your imagination of the past, present, and future?
See, when the state of Andhra Pradesh was born, the industry was completely in Tamil Nadu, which is present Tamil Nadu, and we were all making films there. The government here was trying to get the industry from Tamil Nadu into Andhra Pradesh for a period of time, and very, very little impact was there. About 25-30 years ago, they just made one tax differential. One chief minister, and they came and said that if you make a film here, the taxes will be lower than what it is elsewhere. And immediately they came in. Another chief minister came, and then he gave land, about 65 acres, for the workers to build a facility. On that day, unfortunately, there was a small problem. Both the Chennai workers and the Hyderabad workers fought. And the Chennai workers said they will never come to Hyderabad to shoot. Immediately, Hyderabad, within 2 months, this whole ecosystem got created. The Chennai workers came back and the industry stayed. And what happened at that time is all new infrastructure was built here. Annapurna Studios, Padmaliyar, Ramanaidu Studios, and Ramoji built a world-class facility, while facilities in the other parts of the country were all falling apart. They were all, nobody was enhancing or improving their facilities. Things started off here. With that, all the actors and Telugu people as a whole, we will go and make a remake from anywhere. We will buy a Tamil film, a Telugu, Hindi film, a Malayalam film and make it a remake. For us, there's no qualms that we have to be original and all that. We have to be successful. Now, having said that, with that kind of spirit, we have some seriously brilliant filmmakers who've come and made this so-called pan-Indian film, so-called pan, and they're now trying to look and try and make something pan-world. So the thought process is there always to get bigger and better. So how can we now, both as Hyderabad, because it's a very flexible and easy ecosystem, how can we as all filmmakers try and see that we have at least one place in India which becomes the global hub within our country? If all of us can talk on that, what can we do when South Korea can do it for Korea? Why can't we do it for India? Whether we do it in Hyderabad or wherever it is, how do we do it? That would be something that we should look at. Because that's the opportunity which is there. And I remember in that quest for excellence, we will get there sooner or later. Which is what I remember when A.R. Rahman was once recording. I said, why are you taking so long to record? You're recording. He said, no sir, we do things well, but we don't do things with excellence. And he was the first one who just pushed excellence in recording, and he was the first one to get an Oscar for our country. So it's that kind of spirit or that kind of movement if we start in, I think we should be able to deliver. And all of you are making such fabulous material. Like when I was seeing all the films, whether it's Rakesh, Zoya, Aritesh. So I think that's possible.
Yes. Speaking of excellence, I think Rakesh sir, I would like to get your opinion. We are sitting here today at the cusp of so many possibilities. But it all starts with what we were speaking backstage about. How do we inculcate this culture? How do we inculcate a creative environment? How do we actually bring about people to start believing that we can prosper by forgetting borders, forgetting language, and actually create? And how a state is thinking that way by saying we do not want to think about creating divide, but actually bringing people together. We are all sitting here today. What do you feel is the first starting point from a creative point of view before we go into the technicalities of what the government can enhance? I think there has to be a creative emotion and energy that comes in for us to actually start believing and working towards it for a plan.
Yeah, it's not a very simple question to answer. It's quite complex, and there's no one answer to it. So I would say what happens in the nation reflects the mood of the nation. What's happening in Telangana today is reflecting the mood of the state. When you say we want to go global, it's a global summit. It is not just back-ending and creating facilities, studios and technology. It will also mean a lot of front-ending because we need to then sell. We need point of purchases. How to create future storytellers. I was just speaking with Allu sir and I was trying to propose to him, let's start a school for writing. And I was telling him, after I finish making what's in my hand right now, which are 3-4 films, I want to devote the rest of my life into hanging out with youngsters and the young talent and the next generation, and to understand from them and to cultivate the seed of writing. Once we have very strong writing, see, we are all still enjoying the fruits of what Ved Vyasa wrote in Mahabharata or what Valmiki wrote in Ramayana. We are still, monetizing it in one way or the other. TV, cinema, this, that, movies, adaptation. We need to bring back that. So for me, the writer is the first hero of the film, the first star of the film. Then we start building on other things which are behind the camera and in front of the camera, other skills. But that needs to come, and for that we need a very proud nation. Nation that believes in itself, nation that believes in diversity, nation that believes in coming together. It is a diverse nation. We have a lot of potential, but as long as we come together as, one mutti, not spread out. So there's so much to do, and it's such a humbling experience to come here and share the platform with the stalwarts of Telugu industry who gave birth to, they're the mothers. They went through the labor pain and they delivered. And what a baby they've delivered. Guys, hats off to that, absolutely. Yeah, I can't hear claps. And there's so much to learn from that. But there's also a lot to learn from the mistakes we have made. And so that we don't repeat them. Because we'll be foolish if we repeat the mistakes we've done earlier. Rest all is rhetoric, I think. We need to follow the visionaries and the leaders, that the footsteps they created. Now we need to create our own paths. Not necessarily just follow them. That will be monkey business. So we all keep talking about Korea. The Korean story is not a story which was just born in Korea. Korea exported its culture slowly and surely and gradually. And once the seed was spread all over the world, they started watering it, they started giving it the right sunlight, the right proteins, vitamins. And one day, boom, it exploded. It didn't happen in that just one moment. It took them number of years. So let's start doing that. It's a lot of hard work.
So speaking of stories and speaking of writing, I think we can all say Malayalam cinema right now is leading the way. We have Asif here. Asif, I want to ask you, Telangana is supporting filmmaking for years. now the government wants to make sure that it's a one-stop shop for all the technicalities of making sure films are made well. But how do you imagine being able to come in and tell a story which is based in your homeland? Come here, tell the same story, and today we have the audiences willing in the entire country to enjoy it. What is your expectation or your excitement to see this kind of cross-cultural amalgamation and pollination of energies that is happening?
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. Arjun, for us, especially the Malayalam film industry, Hyderabad and Telugu industry is like our backup plan. Our everyday shooting essentials like, you say, the most advanced camera to the most newest lens to be the rig, everything, we depend Hyderabad and Telugu industry. So we are literally counting on this industry. And I want to say you guys are already 20 years ahead and we are looking forward to a beautiful collaboration. And thank you so much for this invitation. I'm so honored. Cheers.
Allu Aravind, I would like to ask you one very simple question. Pan-India, this terminology that is used now so freely with everything that is happening. I think we have to give credit where credit is due, whether it is Bahubali, whether it is Pushpa, whether it is all these films that have come. I think where Rakesh speaks about writing, imagination, thought process, the Telugu cinema industry has led the way by experimenting, by taking chances, and today we see the government also being so supportive. How do you see us being able to learn from your writing, from your making, from how unified you are as an industry, because that is something that we all want to take back home and bring together and tell better stories. And the government supporting you allows you, I think, to enjoy the fact without being scared, without being worried about how to make films happen, the big budget films or the small budget films. I think what's very special is the government and the film industry are in sync. How has that happened and how do you see that benefiting the kind of stories you wanted to tell, sir?
Can you really hear it? I mean, whatever he speaks in this feedback speakers, we could listen only 50% of it.
Speakers
Are you really listening to what we say? Thank you. At least you are in a better place. Because his question, I am struggling to understand and reply. So, I'm taking his help also to understand that.
I can try again.
How? Your question is like, how such a big films are being made here and how the cooperation of the government and the industry is going together. That is the question you are asking. Thank you. The films which have gone global, we should understand one thing is, they all started from very local. Take recent films like Kantara and Pushpa. They are produced from a Chittoor village story and a Karnataka small village story. They have taken it very local and made it sincerely, and it has become global. We should not try to make Transformers and Avengers. No. We should try what is a great story in Adilabad, what is a great story in this matti, and try to make it big and project it to the rest of the world. That will click. The very principle of getting focused and doing it the best will take you the long way. That is what is proved in the recent times while taking the films global. And the next question is, what he asked is, how the government is so cooperative here, and right from the beginning, right from Channa Reddy to the present Chief Minister, everyone is very friendly. We are very fortunate to be here. Very friendly with the film industry. Our film industry, as Suresh told, that we were there in Chennai and we are only 25, 30 years old here. I tell you, when we were trying to make films here 20 years back, we were struggling. We were struggling. Why we have come here was the starting regrets. But from there, here today we are seeing, rest of the world is coming to make films here. That is the kind of cooperation that has been brought by the government. And without cooperation of the government, this could not have happened. And we are very happy. Every government should take the film industries or the cultural the forms to this level, which all of us should learn from Korea. 30 years back, they have put a seed for the culture to be told to the rest of the world. And after 30 years, we have seen our children are singing Korean songs. When we go home, it's only Korean films are playing. We don't have the space. We have to go to our bedroom and on and see our films in Netflix. Korea is such a dominating. They have started it 30 years back and now it's giving fruits. Likewise, we have to take our culture also. Start taking it in a big way and it will reap fruits after decades. And we should start it. Thank you.
Shyam sir, continuing from where Allu Aravind Garu was saying, you were talking about taking cinema global, but we have to be local to go global is what everybody says. Would you like to add to what sir was saying?
Yep. I believe that cinema is very, very, very powerful. It's not just, I don't think it's just entertainment. It's something more than that. Something way more than that. It is very powerful, and I believe it is bigger than political power. It is bigger than economic power. It is so big that it has the power to influence society. It is the greatest, most powerful influencer. That's how I look at it. And I think that we need to not just only attract cinema to Hyderabad, especially after what we have done to our regional cinema like Triple R, Bahubali, Pushpa, Kantara, all these films. We should also take our films globally, take it across. In that context, I would like to talk about, I would like to give an example for better understanding. There is, before 1985, there is a Japanese dish, Japanese cuisine called ramen. It's an original, authentic noodles, which is very popular in Japan. The rest of the world never knew about it. They never knew about it. It was not popular. It was not there on any menu. It was not offered in any of the Japanese restaurants. But it was popular only in Japan. And in 1985, they made a film. A film came out by the name Tampopo. It's a comedy, Japanese film. And the story is centered around the Japanese relationship with their food. To make it a bit more detailed, the story is about a hero and his relationship with this ramen dish. He made a film and the film was successful and it went on to release in United States. And when it released, it got rave reviews. It got rave reviews, it was appreciated, it became a cult film. It was exposed to the international audience. They started talking about it, they started getting curious about it, they wanted to taste that noodles. And then slowly it spread, it became popular the world over. And last year, just that one noodle, which was introduced to the world through a cinema, had a gross sales of $58 billion, which is bigger than the budget of our state. Just that one dish. That's what is the power of cinema. 7 billion out of that was from Japan and the remaining 51 billion was from the rest of the world. So I very strongly believe that cinema can go across borders faster and easier than any other product. Any other product. I would say that cinema is a cultural ambassador. It can take our culture, our fashion, our lifestyle, our drama, our stories, our humor, our aesthetics, everything to the world. So I believe that that is the power of cinema. I believe that we should also start focusing on that. How do we take our cinema to the rest of the world? It can contribute in a very big way to our economy. 100%, definite. Because any cinema goes straight to the heart. It doesn't go with a propaganda. It goes with a story. It goes with an emotion. And that emotion is an experience. And that experience is a pleasure. Anything to do with that pleasure, associated with that pleasure, the viewer takes it home. He remembers it. So therefore, I believe that cinema is very powerful. And now that we have started going onto the platform, we have directors like Rajamouli, we have directors like Sukumar, we have directors like Rishabh Shetty. So we should work towards that, take our cinema internationally. But we are not great at packaging, presenting, marketing. Therefore, I think the state government should step in, start establishing those cultural centers and help us marketing our projects. So I think that is the way to go about it. Not just attract, also take our cinema international. That's it. That's my view. Thank you.
I think speaking of cinema and language not being a barrier, I'm sitting here with Ritesh, who has now become a director himself and directed in Marathi. Where regional cinema is concerned, when we speak about I think the biggest success we've seen in the recent past is Kantara, a man who's, as Suresh sir was telling us backstage, he lives where he shot the film. He's gone back and taken people back there to shoot a film, tell the story about a rooted part of his culture, and the country and the world has embraced it. So Ritesh, I wanted to ask you, what kind of skills and technology do you need eventually to be able to actually take a story that is based in Maharashtra, to shoot it here, to make sure that the audience even in Telangana enjoys it, the audience in Punjab enjoys it? How do we break this language barrier? How do we break this cultural barrier that I think perhaps the Kantara has done so well in the recent past? Because Bahubali is still a mythological story in that sense. Pushpa is still the angry young man coming to the fore with the core emotion. But the cultural stories that we want to listen to, we want to understand and we want to really respect, how can we take that to the entire nation?
First of all, thank you so much for having me over here. I want to thank Honorable CM Sir, Deputy CM Sir, for organizing this wonderful global summit, and to have great minds here and to feel that I was capable to sit here. First of all, thank you so much. My journey started from Hyderabad. I'm happy to say that I'm a product of Hyderabad. My first film, Tujhe Meri Kasam, where Genelia and me, both of us debuted, was produced by Shri Ramoji Rao. And everything I learned, my first experience about filmmaking was from here in Hyderabad. I learned about work ethics. I learned about how films are made. I learned about how people are treated. I didn't know anything about filmmaking. But my foundation itself was so good in terms of dealing with people who are so professional, so respectful, and so inclusive. That is one thing that Hyderabad really inculcated in me as a person, and I'm extremely proud to carry it with me for the last 22 years as an actor, a producer, and now as a director. Talking about, I have, Genelia and me, primarily we have produced Marathi films. That's where the language that I'm born in. It's an industry. When you talk about Indian film industry, it started with a Marathi man, Dadasaheb Phalke. And one man's vision in Mumbai, and when we spoke last time that, you know, industry, a lot of people from all over the country came, and it became like a pot boiler for filmmaking. It became a hub. It became something much more important, much more like an ambassador to cultures. And it has, like Shyam Babu said, it is practically the biggest influencer that we have world over. And when we talk about cinema, primarily I'll come to what you said about Marathi films being made. Yes, regional films, some industries have struggled and gained success and became big global phenomenon like Telugu, like Tamil. Hindi was already a hugely successful industry, and they are the main drivers. But when we look at Marathi industry, primarily because it comes from state of Maharashtra, where we already have an existing Hindi film industry. So when it comes to choices, in Maharashtra, people's first choice is always a Hindi film. The second choice is a Marathi film. So when a Marathi film becomes the second choice, it is extremely important that you have less chances to attract that audience. Then you have to be very sure what kind of films you're making, how can it be culturally rooted. Like Arvind sir said that, it's important to go local. And of course, if you are connected with local, emotions will connect and eventually global will happen. But if you're not local, if you don't connect with the people's heart, nothing's going to translate on big screen or influence people's minds. Yes, I agree that as an industry, when we look at what's happening in the summit here, or the proposition of cross-cultural boundaries being erased, that is very important. Why is this more or very exciting? Is because it will be a hub not only for Telugu industry. We are talking about a hub for all India, or people from all over the world to come here and interact with each other and see what we can give each other, what we can learn from each other. It's very important that we have a place, and unfortunately, even in Maharashtra, or Mumbai, we have very fragmented places where we shoot. We don't have an interactive or integrated city as such that can really inculcate talent, nurture a future generation, and help each other excel. Sir said that we like A.R. Rahman sir said, it's not about giving something that's good. How do we excel? And if each of us tries to excel in what we do, we will create a global product. And that is what we need to really teach people. And I truly believe that skill sets are the most important part of this industry. And primarily, when we talk about, slightly off, but in our industry, a lot of people think working on the job is learning. And it is. I'm not saying that. It is. Be it production, production is such an important aspect of it. But we need institutes to teach people how to produce movies, how to manage people. We think, okay, one person joins the film, he learns the ropes, and we have the grades. Of course, I'm not denying that. But if we teach all these things professionally in an institute, then we'll have far more superior talent coming in and making things better, making things more easier, streamlining things for us to excel in. And that does not mean production. I'm talking about even direction, every aspect of it. That is something that we really need to, as skill sets, really develop. And when we talk about Marathi films, I've of course worked in Hindi films and producing and directing Marathi films. I think erasing the regional boundaries is very important, but at the same time upholding your cultural values, where we each have our own inherent cultural values that we can come together, that we can impart with each other, collaborate with each other, and it's give and take. That's what I think, and this is the place that promises to be that, and we are very excited to see what future for cinema holds, starting from Telangana.
So moving to Zoya and Genelia both, I think Zoya first I'll come to you. I think in the beginning of the summit when I was talking, we spoke about, I hate using the term women empowerment. I think it's just about acknowledging the fact that over the last couple of decades we've had women in front of the camera and now women behind the camera. I think our industry in that sense has started a lot of that conversation for many, many years. And now when we speak about the summit today, they also want to make sure that the ecosystem and environment fosters more behind the scenes women feeling excited, intrigued, curious to learn, to adapt, and to be part of cinema. As somebody who's been a torchbearer of being a filmmaker behind the scenes, and as an actor who's worked in both Hindi and Telugu and regional cinema, what can actually be done to make sure that more women, more girls, more young girls are excited and intrigued to come and be part, not only in front of the camera, because that will always exist, because there is a certain amount of beauty that comes with it and a certain excitement, but even just to be able to be a storyteller, because abroad we see so many fantastic people who are producing, directing, writing, I mean show running. So I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I think we have to empower women and girls to start believing that they must and they can.
Firstly, thank you for having me here. I'm really excited to be here. I absolutely love this question. And here is somewhere where I think the Mumbai film industry has done very well, which is created a safe environment where women can work behind the camera. There are sets that are sometimes more than 50% women. We have women in every field, not just directors and writers, but we also have women in lighting now, women that are grips, women that are shooting films. They are everywhere. I think it starts from the top, and the top is here, so it's a good place to start. I think in Bombay what happened was the biggest production houses and the biggest stars started working with women directors. Whether it was the Khans, whether it was Hrithik, they all started working and signing films with women directors. And that really broke a glass ceiling. The big production houses, YRF, Dharma, Excel, all of them started using women directors, and it sends out a message, you know. I think that's very important. I think half the audience is female, half our life is female, so their worldview is very important. Their vision is very important. They see the world differently. And you can only make better films and a better industry by involving them in the process. Having said that, respect. I think for women to come in and work behind the camera, they need to feel valued. You can't dismiss them. You can't be like, you don't know anything, you're a girl. No, she knows a lot. You know what I mean? She gave birth to you. So have some respect. And basically respect and safety and opportunity. That's all.
Genelia, I think the audience is dying to hear from you.
Firstly, I would like to honestly thank Honorable CM and Honorable Deputy CM for having me here. I mean, Hyderabad is home and it'll always mean the world to me. Telangana is some place where I started my first film, and then also the first time I produced was also back here in Telangana. So I think what the place does is makes you feel very secure and very wanted. Like Zoya saying, very often as women, if you don't come forward, it's because you don't feel that you're holding a position of power. But this city encourages you. It opens its heart and opens it's very, very welcoming. For someone like me who came from Bombay, I did some of my best work here. Not that I didn't do in other industries as well. I'm very grateful to have been part of a lot of industries. But I got a chance, like I wanted to do something more and I got that chance here. I'm honestly very grateful that I was a recipient of 2 Nandi Awards here, which is an honor for me when a state, you know, gives it to you. It means more than a lot more awards because it comes straight from the people and straight from the government, and I think that is very, very welcoming to someone like me. Speaking as a producer, strangely when I started off, I used to be the only girl on set very often, you know, I was the only girl. But the strangest thing was my first film was produced by a woman herself at that point in time. Satyam here was produced by Supriya, and I don't know whether you're here, Nagarjuna's niece. And she was brilliant at her job, and I would look at her and wonder. Like I would always feel alone sometimes because I was, you know, the only girl on set, and whether it was your crew or whether it was always men. But there was this one woman who was taking it all on, and I wondered, someday maybe, maybe I'll want to do this. Many years later, of course, we're here and the industry has opened out to a lot more women, and a lot more women are coming out and telling stories and being part of cinematography and being part of a lot more things. But the encouragement needs to start with each one of us, I think, and with a basic thought that I can be worth it. Like, I think as women, we underplay ourselves as well. We need to come out and say that we can do it. And someone like Zoya is brilliant. She's changed it for most women directors, I feel, here. And I think that's what's important. While you have an example, you also have a belief, and that's how we grow this industry. And I think the men in our industry are very lovely. They're always there to support. It's sometimes a little bit of saying that I want to do it, and another person saying, yeah, please come. That's about it.
And since we are talking about taking Indian cinema to the globe, if you look back, I mean, of course, there was Mr. Rajamouli and the fantastic vision of RRR, but there was also All We Imagine Is Light. And that was like a beautiful, quiet, soft film, Payal Kapadia, that has taken the world by storm. And it's about two Malayali nurses, made in Malayalam, by a Bombay girl set in Maharashtra, and it broke all barriers, and it was distributed in India by Rana, Sir's son. So that's another way to look at it. It's not just always the big vision, it's the quiet stories. Whether it was Meera Nair, whether it's Girls Will Be Girls, whether it's Santosh, these are all female filmmakers. And there is interest in what they have to say,
Exactly. I think that's a great example that you've given that already shows that we can actually go across the so-called creative borders don't exist actually. Sir, talk about creative borders. Bengali cinema has been so imperative and so important to shaping our culture. What is your take home today when you're sitting here and hearing everybody speak? What do you feel? I think Bengal has been the starting point of lot of art, lot of cultural curiosity. How do you see the government being able to enhance the prospects of you coming here perhaps and shooting regional films, Bengali films, or even using stories from here to take there and make?
See, emotion is universal. The way I cry, a person in Sweden, he also cries like that. Or somebody in Bankura, a village in West Bengal, he also cries like that. We have to identify stories. That's the most important thing. Now the synergy between a government, a filmmaker, a studio, and technology. Where there is friendship between all these guys, it can be fulfilled, whatever you are dreaming. Unfortunately, I come from a place where money was a problem, when we used to, I had to do more than 500 advertising films sitting in Calcutta for Bangladesh and Eastern region and make some money, bought my camera and made my first film, Onur Onun, which I shot in England. And the way we grew up, it was a very cosmopolitan environment. There was a person from Chennai, then Madras. There was a person from Maharashtra. There was a person from England. There's a person from Jalpaiguri. So we used to get stories from the atmosphere, which was flying here and there. Now, the problem, when you make a film, you dream, but it dies before it starts taking shape. Where is the money? So when there is a corporation or when there is a state who can give us incentives, give us technology, because now a lot of things you can do. You can create a set and you can do a lot of things digitally. You identify a story or make a cross-culture film. Like you make a film like Frantic, a man and a woman who has come from Burdwan for honeymoon in Charminar, and the woman gets lost. And then what? So we can dream about that when there is a support by the state. We come here, we shoot a very rooted story, a story which has double root, which is story has a root from Kolkata or from Bengal. I live in Bombay also. I've started making small Hindi films. A Maharashtrian man, unit who will help. There are a lot of opportunities now how we deal that. And another opportunity we require, we are filmmakers. We don't believe in ROI. We don't know ROI, you know. Art has to be patronized, you know. When Birbal used to sing, Akbar didn't think of ROI. How much money Birbal used to, play jokes, or Tansen used to sing. You know, Akbar used to patronize that, or when Michelangelo used to paint, you know, the church took care of these things. Our problem is we have to think of ROI, we have to get money, we have to execute a film, which becomes very heavy, or it's tough. So if there is a body who will take care of, every film has a market. Buddhadev Dasgupta, one of the most renowned filmmaker of our country, told Anirudh, everything has a market. You make a film of X budget, there is somebody. Y budget, there is somebody. But you have to know the market. But that's not my job, because I'm not good at that. Everybody is not good at everything, you know. I can't play cricket well, but I play table tennis well, you know. So, if this kind of collaboration happens with the stalwarts, like everybody, all of you here, then sky is the limit. You know, lot of things can happen. Lot of things can happen. I will give example of Zoya's film. You know, I'll tell you why. Zindagi Na Mile Dobara. A week back, I was depressed. So my wife told me, she produces most of my film. Let's watch that film. So you went to Spain. We knew about Spain tourism, but you talked about Indian values, of urban Indian values, their crisis, their, you know, their introspection in their life. So we can always do that, you know. That's very important, to go to places, make a film, rediscover, unlearn, learn, and let's do experiment. And that there is a state, or there is a body, there is a committee who will take care of you, which is very important for artists. Filmmakers are also artists. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have just one simple question to the three producers who are here, taking a cue from you. You know, we are here at a global summit, and we talk about films, and been producing and learning, the costs are just escalating. Everything. Still think Bahubali and maybe Pushpa Raj, but how can we make them at a lesser cost, and how can government come in to help us lessen that cost?
So this, I think, is such a long answer and such a long conversation. I think we'll have to save it for another time, because I have been told in my end here that we have to unfortunately end the session at this point in time, because we've ran over our time. Thank you so much to all the people that are here today. Ritesh, your question, I think Suresh Babu will answer separately once you go backstage. Huh? But I would like to take this opportunity to invite So that was a power pack session on cinema rising in Telangana. I sincerely thank all our panelists for those powerful insights. What truly stands out is how Telangana is building an ecosystem for 2047 where technology meets talent, where culture meets opportunity, and where filmmaking becomes a driver of social and economic transformation. A special thank you for IFA for taking Indian cinema to the world year after year and showcasing the power of our stories on the global stage. And a heartfelt acknowledgement for Wishcraft for putting this together in such short time with such dedication and vision. And of course, Andre Timmins, the director and co-founder of Wishcraft, thank you so much for your leadership, passion and unwavering commitment. Thank you all for being a part of this conversation, and thank you Telangana for showing what a visionary creative economy can look like. I request you to all remain seated. I invite Srimati C.H. Priyanka, IAS Managing Director, Telangana Film Development Corporation, to deliver the concluding remark for this session.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Government of Telangana and Film Development Corporation, we thank all of you for your esteemed presence. And as a closing today, I thank each and everyone for their enriching important points that have given. Today has been an energizing and truly forward-looking experience for all of us here. We, as the Film Development Corporation, give a heartfelt thank for all the esteemed panelists here, Shri Allu Aravind garu, Shri D. Suresh Babu garu, Mr. Shyam Prasad Reddy garu, Rakesh Om Prasad Mehra ji, Joya Akhtar ji, Ritesh Deshmukh and Srimati Genelia Deshmukh, Aniruddha Roy Chowdhury ji, Parthiv Goyal ji and Asif Ali ji. Today, we have taken very important points from all of you, especially starting with the importance of writing, how we can emulate the Korean way to see our cinema rising 2047, how the collaboration with multiple industries like Malayalam, Bengali and Marathi can show our way towards the future, and also, as Allu Aravind garu has said, how sincerity in our work can pave the future. I always thank all of you for being here, and last but not the least, to our moderator, Shri Arjun Kapoor ji, for steering this conversation with such charm and clarity. Last but not the least, we also thank our Chairman, Film Development Corporation, Shri Dilraju garu, for being a steady anchor and support for the government and the industry, for which the bonhomie, as been discussed in the panel, is very much important. As we wrap up today, I hope Telangana stays with you all, just not in your schedules, but also in your scripts. Thank you all. We look forward to building this creative future together. And one last note, all of you, is that I request all of you to please move to the main hall as the closing ceremony is going to be begun. I request our Honorable Minister, Shri Komatreddy Venkatreddy garu, to be on the stage.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Priyanka, ma'am. And with this, we bring this powerful conversation on Cinema Rising 2047 to a close. The closing ceremony is not yet done. It's going to happen at the lawns, and that's the unveiling of Vision 2047 happening at the lawns, followed by the drone show. Please do attend. Well, my heartfelt gratitude.
Let it be recorded in them. Closing ceremony is in the launch and tell the vision document.
Let me repeat myself, ladies and gentlemen. Unveiling of Vision Document 2047 is happening at the lawns, which is going to be followed by the drone show. We request our delegates to please join us. My heartfelt gratitude to all our panelists present here on stage. Today we didn't just discuss cinema, but we also explored visions and possibilities and the incredible future that Indian cinema is marching towards. That was indeed a very insightful conversation. Time takku undi kabatti we couldn't go to the Q&A sessions. Thank you, Arjun Kapoor ji, for moderating this show for us in Telangana. Mari manam andaram kuda okasari Telangana style lo okasari gattiga oka veskundama. Let's give them a big round of applause, guys. They are here for us. Thank you, Mr. Arjun Kapoor garu. Thank you, Aniruddha Roy Chowdhury garu. Thank you, Shyam Prasad Reddy sir. Thank you, Suresh Babu garu. Thank you, Allu Aravind garu. This is to bring it to your notice, ladies and gentlemen, that the closing ceremony is happening at the lawn, and where we are going to unveil the document 2047 at the Telangana Rising Global Summit 2025. I request all of you to please join us at the closing